Hey guys, so today I thought I would do a second video about some crazy Reddit threads about skincare and beauty related things. I'm always not sure if I should link to them, especially if I say something not terribly nice about it, so I'll debate it. But anyway, so these are some interesting posts that I found. So the first one, this sub, they're talking about this 30 plus skincare addicts, made me realize something about my face. 35F, I'm always seeing people here post about getting Botox for their forehead, their 11s, their smile lines, whatever. I don't have any of these issues. My lifestyle kind of sucks. I love fast food and booze, and my genes aren't that great. My parents have had deep 11s since I was a kid, so I've been puzzled. It finally struck me. I don't have an expressive face. I get compared to Aubrey Plaza a lot. I don't know who that is, but I'm sure it's somebody. I have a total flat affect. Awkward, yes. Good for the skin, yes. Apparently, is anybody else experiencing a failure to emote? And I guess my first thought was smile lines. Don't you get them from smiling? I mean, it's kind of sad. I feel bad that somebody would not have any expression to their face because they don't use their face or their expression. I know my biggest thing, and I remember it was all throughout school and college, every professor would be like, what are you thinking? You look so serious. They'd always be talking about me. And I'm usually, generally, pretty much in deep thought about sometimes the stupidest things ever. Most of the time, the stupidest things ever, but I always have the serious face. I have a lot of my friends. I accidentally, my friend was showing me a text from somebody else, and it popped up something about me. Sarah's she's very serious. She's overwhelming, and she's very serious. And I'm thinking, gosh, I don't think I'm serious at all. Or also, it's very serious and very intense. And I guess that's just the look I give. But my intensity probably has nothing to do with anything actually important. Occasionally it's something important, and usually nothing I can do anything about. So anyway, so I thought that was interesting, but give yourself smile lines. I remember somebody else left a comment to tell me to not smile so much because of my smile lines were so noticeable. And it's like, you know what? And I think I've actually read studies on psychology and things like that, that if you smile, even if you're in a bad mood, just giving yourself a smile can affect like the hormones or something going through your system or your serotonin. Just having a smile, even though things are going to heck, giving a smile sometimes might help a little bit. So that's my thoughts on that one. Next up, and I can so relate with this, got my face scanned for pigment and blood flow, and yikes. So it says, I'm a 40-year-old man and just had my face scanned at a local beauty clinic. They use this machine that takes detailed pictures of your skin through various filters, checking out everything from your pores to deep under your skin. Honestly, the results were scary. It showed I'm basically covered in sunspots under my skin, irritation in several places, scars, dilated pores, and more. The blood flow analyst made me look like a homeless man who went through many rough Canadian winters, tried many rough Minnesotan winters, but anyway. And the sunspots made me look like my grandma did right before she passed, and she was 92. I've been taking care of my skin. I've used Botox for 15 years. Well, we know that doesn't do anything with pores and things like that. Got some work done on my eyes last fall. I use Retin-A regularly. I've not been consistent about sunscreen. Ding, ding, ding. I will admit, the scan makes a great baseline. Definitely pushed me to wear more sunscreen, but I left feeling pretty down about my skin when I walked out of the clinic. I was looking at people over 30 and wondering how any of us can come out winning when scrutinized that way. Plus, nobody will ever see me walking around without an epidermis. I went in feeling good about how I look, but came out feeling a lot worse. I will say, if you're doing all those things and not using sunscreen regularly, it's a way, especially using retinoids. I mean, that reveals softer, fresher skin, which makes it more susceptible to sunburn. So if you're doing some things like Retin-A or exfoliation and not using sunscreen, it's going to all backfire, and then you'd be better off not having done anything at all, or just using sunscreen. The Botox, that really has nothing to do with your hyperpigmentation, but this is kind of what got me interested in skincare. Was I did one of these probably, I want to say, my mom was still alive, so it had to be maybe 12 years ago or so, and that was really what got me into using sunscreen. I started noticing melasma pop up on my face, so I went to this clinic to try a peel, which, oh my god, that friggin' hurt, and I bought a package of 3 of them, and it came with this free scan. And those scans, I bet they sell a ton of things, because those scans, nobody looks good in those filters, but it is showing you if you don't do anything, all these things underneath are going to come to the surface eventually, especially if you don't start taking care of it and using sunscreen. So I'm interested. Those things, I bet, are good sellers for them, and I know that's probably why they do them. And if you take care of yourself, do some of these things, you know, maybe do some lasers and do sunscreen. Probably in 5 years, you can do another scan and maybe you look better, or maybe just not any worse. So I have a feeling it's kind of a double-sided thing, the reason they do those. I've seen them listed for sale on like Alibaba and things like that. I've always wanted to buy one because I thought it'd be fun to be able to take pictures of myself like that, you know, once a month or something, but they're too expensive for that. So it's interesting. I guess the good thing about it was this person realized they needed to start using sunscreen every day, because if you're going to do all that, you know, better start using sunscreen, especially if you're doing all those other treatments. So anyway, so I thought that was interesting and something I could totally relate with. Okay, next up. Has anyone had luck with face yoga? I found YouTube videos that claim to help nasolabial folds and sagging jowls, which would be a miracle if they actually work. Has anyone successfully had results from exercising their face? And a few people mentioned they use the gua sha and noticed benefits from it. I'm hesitant to think this does anything. I mean, I guess perhaps if you're using the gua sha to massage in something good, perhaps that could be beneficial. But I think just rubbing your face probably doesn't do much, although I have seen I saw one study that did say the pressure from a gua sha regularly could potentially increase collagen synthesis. So I don't necessarily think that the face yoga might do anything, but maybe the gua sha, or maybe just the massaging, or maybe if you're using gua sha to put a treatment in, I think that might be more likely to work. But I don't think you can twist your face into looking younger. I think in the long run, maybe it might make it look older. So I just remember growing up in the 80s when they had all these weird devices. My mom would buy all of them, like as seen on TV, and one of them was like a neck tightener thing where you looked up and down and squeezed this coil. Should have gotten that industry, man, because they sold a lot of them. Oh, same thing with like the Thigh Master and things like that. I mean, which most people bought them and then never used them more than once. So, okay, next up, what causes wealthy-looking skin? Sort of wet and taut and frankly somewhat artificial. Is it retinols, laser? I don't think it's a naturally occurring phenomenon, so I'm trying to understand how it was done. And then the picture was a picture of J-Lo without makeup, which I don't believe is without makeup, because I've actually seen other pictures of her without makeup, and it's not quite as impressive as you would think compared to the one they added in here. And I think there's no such thing as wealthy skin. I know some wealthy people, and their skin looks terrible. I mean, they didn't take care of it. They have very fair skin. They didn't use sunscreen a lot. I think instead of using the term wealthy, I think they might have meant celebrity. Then again, most of it is going to be airbrushed, photoshopped, and I will link to that below, because there is a thread on this Reddit about all these pictures of famous people without a filter, and they look normal. They have wrinkles, fine lines, things like that. So, I don't know, somewhat artificial. Is that a good thing? Do we want to look artificial? I don't know. Okay, then last but not least, to whomever posted about washing your face for a full minute, thank you. And then they posted a picture of themselves. My skin has never looked so dewy without makeup. I've been washing my face for a full minute 2 times a day since that post here, and it's been working wonders. Perhaps there's something to be said about it. Typically, when I wash my face over the sink, my back is a train wreck. It's literally a train wreck, probably from a couple of accidents. I got rear-ended a couple times, which is not good. So I can't bend over for more than 10 seconds at a time. But in the shower, I try and cleanse a little bit longer. But I also have a feeling it might depend on what cleanser you're using, because I have a feeling if you're using a harsh cleanser for a minute, it's going to leave your skin freaking out. Almost like the oil cleansing method. I tried that a couple times, and it was amazing. You know, rubbing an oil cleanser on your face for 10, 15 minutes, it does get out all the oil, and it feels nice, and it looks nice, and then the next morning, my skin is freaking out. So I have a feeling perhaps if you're using like a cleansing balm or something with minimal ingredients, cleansing for a minute might help. But if you're using something really harsh with lots of soaps in it, I feel it might not be so good. But I guess I was going to ask you guys for your thoughts on that, because maybe that's something I need to try more. I know when I cleanse, I'm very fast about it. So I don't know. Maybe it's something worth checking out. Anyway, so those are some interesting Reddit posts, and I'll try and remember to link to the one with all the celebrities that weren't photoshopped and what they really looked like, because Photoshop and the powers of what the media can do with a picture is pretty amazing. So anyway, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys more tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye, guys.